Epstein lived an extravagant lifestyle. He owned multiple luxury properties, including a mansion in Manhattan, homes in Palm Beach and New Mexico, and a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands known as Little St. James. Biography of Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Edward Epstein, January 20, 1953 to August 10, 2019, was an American financier and convicted sex offender whose life and crimes became one of the most notorious scandals in modern history. He was known not only for his wealth and connections to powerful figures but also for his involvement in the sexual abuse and trafficking of underage girls over many years. Early life and education. Jeffrey Epstein was born in Brooklyn, New York, to Seymour and Paula Epstein, a middle-class Jewish family. He grew up in the Seagate neighborhood of Coney Island alongside his younger brother, Mark Epstein. Epstein showed strong academic abilities, particularly in mathematics, and graduated early from Lafayette High School. He later attended Cooper Union and New York University, where he studied mathematics and physics. However, Epstein did not earn a college degree. Despite this, he managed to build a career that placed him among elite financial and social circles. Career beginnings. In the mid-1970s, Epstein began working as a mathematics and physics teacher at the Dalton School, a prestigious private school in Manhattan. He was hired despite lacking formal qualifications, largely due to personal connections. His teaching career ended after concerns about his professionalism and performance. After leaving Dalton, Epstein entered the financial world by joining Bear Stearns, a major investment bank. There, he worked as an options trader and eventually became a limited partner. His time at Bear Stearns ended amid questions about his conduct and business practices. Rise as a financier. In 1988, Epstein founded J. Epstein & Company, a private financial management firm that catered exclusively to ultra-wealthy clients. Epstein claimed to manage billions of dollars, though the true source of much of his wealth remained unclear. One of his most important clients was billionaire retail executive Leslie Wexner, founder of L Brands. Epstein gained extensive control over Wexner's finances and assets, which significantly increased his own wealth and influence. Through these connections, Epstein entered elite social circles that included politicians, academics, celebrities, and royalty. Lifestyle and property. Epstein lived an extravagant lifestyle. He owned multiple luxury properties, including a mansion in Manhattan, homes in Palm Beach and New Mexico, and a private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands known as Little St. James. He also owned a private jet, later nicknamed the Lolita Express. Epstein used his wealth and influence to present himself as a philanthropist and intellectual, donating to scientific research and associating with prominent scholars. This public image helped shield him from scrutiny for years. First criminal investigation and conviction. In 2005, Epstein became the subject of a criminal investigation in Palm Beach, Florida, after allegations emerged that he had sexually abused underage girls. Police identified dozens of victims who described a pattern of abuse involving recruitment, payment, and coercion. Despite substantial evidence, Epstein avoided severe punishment. In 2008, he reached a controversial plea deal in which he pleaded guilty to state charges of soliciting prostitution from a minor. He served only 13 months in jail, much of it on work release, and was required to register as a sex offender. The deal drew widespread criticism for being overly lenient and for granting Epstein immunity from federal prosecution at the time. Continued allegations and civil lawsuits. Following his release, Epstein continued to face civil lawsuits from victims. Many accused him of maintaining a sex trafficking network involving underage girls, assisted by associates who recruited and groomed victims. Banks and institutions that worked with Epstein were later accused of enabling his activities by ignoring warning signs. Public outrage grew as details of Epstein's connections and prior plea deal became more widely known. Federal arrest and charges. In July 2019, Epstein was arrested by federal authorities and charged with sex trafficking of minors in New York and Florida. Prosecutors alleged that he abused and trafficked dozens of girls over many years and used his wealth to silence victims. This arrest marked a major shift, as Epstein now faced serious federal charges with the possibility of decades in prison. Death in custody. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. The official ruling was suicide by hanging. However, failures in jail supervision and malfunctioning security cameras led to widespread suspicion and conspiracy theories. His death prevented a criminal trial, leaving many victims without full legal resolution. Aftermath and legacy. Epstein's longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell was later arrested, tried, and convicted for her role in recruiting and grooming underage girls. She was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Epstein's case sparked global discussions about abuse of power, accountability for wealthy individuals, and failures within the justice system. Thousands of documents related to his activities have been released, continuing to fuel investigations and public debate. Jeffrey Epstein's life is remembered not for financial success or influence, but for systematic sexual abuse, exploitation, and the institutional failures that allowed his crimes to continue for decades. His case remains a symbol of how wealth and connections can be used to evade justice, and why transparency and accountability are essential to protecting victims.